first off, how would you describe, as the historian, the first 2 months of this current Trump administration?
Well, we are watching the deliberate dismantling of American democracy. So, how I would describe it in a single word is catastrophic, frightening, any number of those words. But we are seeing the attempt to destroy, our foreign relations, our government that supported ordinary Americans, all the different ways in which we have built this particular government over our 248-year history and at least over the last 80 years, we're tearing apart, which is, horrific. And yet we are being able to judge what's happening and maybe find ways to push back on that.
When we spoke about a month ago, I asked you if we were in the midst of a constitutional crisis. You answered in the affirmative. So, where are we now, 1 month later?
So it's funny you say that because you can see the mainstream media is beginning to pick up the idea that we really are in trouble, especially in this moment, because of the ways in which the Trump administration and MAGA supporters are going after the federal judiciary. That's a really big deal. But I identified it earlier on than that because the Trump administration, with the Department of Government Efficiency and whatever it is that Elon Musk is doing, was deliberately dismantling a number of agencies that Congress had put into place. And that was an attack on the constitutional powers of Congress and also of specific laws. So we've been in trouble now for a while, and it's not getting better. It's actually getting worse. Now, I'm trying to put a somewhat positive spin on this because it bothers me when people say, oh, that's it, we're done. We're certainly not done yet. There are ways in which we can resist this. But one of the things that I have found very interesting this week, which is the week of March 20th, we're recording this on, is that with Trump going after U.S. District Judge Boasberg, for example, and the other ways in which he has pushed against the legal underpinnings of the United States, seems to have woken up a lot of people who were willing to fudge other things that disturb people like me. And now, for example, you're seeing a lot of op-eds around the country with people saying, wait, we have a real problem here. So maybe at the rate at which they are moving and the extremes at which they are reaching will help us to wake up earlier rather than later to push back against the dismantling of our government.